Hi guys, good day. It's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class is all about geometric sequence and we are dealing with variables. So without further ado, let's do this topic. So this is actually requested from our students and our subscribers in Facebook and YouTube. I would like to give thanks and shout out to them. This answer is for you class. Once again class, if this video helps, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Alright, so we do have two examples class. Now for number 2 class, I will just make another video for this one because we need to explain class number 1 step by step. This will be quite tricky class for number 1, but once again, do not be worried because we will be explaining this one step by step. Alright, so once again class, for number 2, I will just make another video for this one. Then I will put the link on the description down below. Feel free to see example number 2 class. Alright, so for number 1, find the value of x so that x plus 2, 5x plus 1, x plus 11 will form a geometric sequence. And then find the sum of the first 10 terms of the given sequence. So quite complicated for example number 1 because we are dealing with variables. We have x plus 2, 5x plus 1, and then x plus 11. And then after we find x, we are told to find the sum. So this will be geometric series. So quite tricky for number 1. And then for number 2, find the value of x if the geometric mean of 2x and 19x minus 2 is 7x minus 2. Alright, so let's start with example number 1. So let me just erase this one because we don't have enough space. Let me just erase number 2 and then we will be focusing on number 1. Alright, so example number 1, our given, we have x plus 2 for our first term. Our second term, that will be 5x plus 1. Then our third term, we have x plus 11. Now, let's have basic examples, class, with regards to geometric sequence. If I will say 3, 6, and then 9, question, class, can we call this one geometric sequence? Now, how will you know that this sequence is geometric sequence? Now, you will know that one, class, if they have the same common ratio. Now, how will you get the common ratio? Simply divide the second term by the first term. And you also divide the third term by the second term. Alright, let's do that. 6 divided by 3. So 6 divided by 3, what would be the answer, class? That's correct, that would be equal to 2. So let's also check dividing the third term by the second term. 9 divided by 6. Is that 2? Nope, that's not 2. 9 divided by 6. You cannot divide this one. You will get a decimal answer. But you can reduce. What would be the greatest common factor of 9 and 6? That's correct. That would be 3, right? We can divide 9 by 3. We can also divide 6 by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So therefore, 9 divided by 6, you cannot divide. The answer is 3 over 2. Though they have the same common ratio, nope, they don't have the same common ratio. So therefore, this is not geometric sequence. So let's change this number. What if I say this is 12? We have 3, 6, and then 12. Question, can we call this one geometric sequence? Can we call this one geometric sequence? Alright, let's check. Dividing the second term by the first term, 6 divided by 3. What's the answer, class? That's correct, that would be 2. You also divide the third term by the second term, 12 divided by 6. What's the answer, class? That's correct, the answer is 2. Now, do they have the same common ratio? Yup, they have the same common ratio. So therefore, this is geometric sequence. Alright, so I hope it's clear for you, class, with regards to geometric sequence. Now, sir, can we find the value of x dividing the second term by the first term? Alright, let's do that. 5x plus 1 divide x plus 2. Can we find the value of x? Can we divide 5x plus 1 by x plus 2? Nope, you can never divide that one, class. This is the simplest form. You can never divide this one, class. Once again, class, you can never divide this one, class. This is the simplest form. Now, how about, sir, dividing the third term by the second term? X plus 11 divide 5x plus 1. Can we divide that one, sir? Nope, you can never divide this one, class. This is the simplest form. Alright, so therefore, how will you find the value of x? Now, to find the value of x, class, we can use the geometric mean formula. Do you still remember, class, the formula? So, geometric mean formula. So, the formula, class, there would be x or geometric mean, you can put G, that's okay class. Geometric mean, or we can put X, it means geometric mean. So geometric mean is equal to the square root of the first term multiplied by the third term. Once again class, to find the value of X, if you have given example like this, you can find the value of X applying geometric mean formula. And the formula, there would be geometric mean. Once again class, this X right here is what we call geometric mean. So this is geometric mean. You can put G, that's okay. Geometric mean, that's okay class. That's the same with this one, geometric mean. You can put bar there, that's okay. You can put bar there class. Okay, underline on the top of X, that's okay. It means bar. So that would be equal to mean, or we can put X, simple X, it means mean, or G, that would be geometric mean. So geometric mean is equal to the square root of A times C. That would be the first term multiplied by the third term. So we will be using this one to find the value of X. Or we can have this formula, this is just the same class, X squared is equal to A times C. Question, is this the same? Question class, is this the same? Yup, this is just the same. Why is that, sir? Example class, this one, X squared equals A times C. Now, if the teacher will told you to find the value of X, how will you find the value of X? That's correct, you extract square root both sides, right? Extract square root both sides, cancel this out. So therefore, X is equal to square root of AC. That will be the first term multiplied by the third term. So this is just the same. Check this one out, class. This is just the same. Alright, so let's have an example class with regards to geometric mean before we find the value of X. Example class. We have 3, 6, and 12, right? You don't have the value of the middle term. Once again class, you don't have the value of the middle term, and the teacher will ask you to find the middle term. And this is geometric sequence. Once again class, the teacher will ask you find the middle term of this given geometric sequence. So therefore class, we can find the middle term applying geometric mean. Because mean, it means the middle of the two values. So to find the mean or geometric mean, we can use this formula. So that would be X is equal to square root of A times C. Square root of the first term multiplied by the third term. Once again, A is the first term, C is the third term. To find the value, once again, class, the value of this one, we answered that a while ago. This is 6, right? Once again, this is 6, right? So let's try to check class if we get 6 using this formula. So geometric mean, where X is equal to square root of our first term is 3. And then our third term, that would be 12. So 3 times 12. So this will be X, or geometric mean, is equal to square root of 3 times 12. What's the answer, class? That's correct. That would be 36. And then X, or geometric mean, is equal to the square root of 36, class. What's the answer, class? That's correct. That would be equal to 6. Okay? That would be equal to 6. So therefore, our answer is correct. So this is 6. Alright, so therefore, geometric mean is equal to 6. The middle value of these two given numbers, that would be equal to 6. So therefore, class, we can find the value of X applying geometric mean. So this will be our first term. This is A. So once again, this is A. This will be our first term. Alright, so let me just label this one. This will be our A. This will be our first term. C will be our last term, our third term. This will be C. And this will be our geometric mean, right? Once again, class, check this one out. Class, 6 is our geometric mean. The middle term is our geometric mean. So 6 is our geometric mean. 3 is our first term. So A, this one. X plus 2 is our first term. X plus 11 is our third term. And then 5x plus 1, that would be our geometric mean. That would be equal to X. This is X, geometric mean. Once again, class, X represents for geometric mean. It's not the X that we're told to find for. Once again, class, it's not the X that we're told to find for. X here is the geometric mean. So our geometric mean, we can just write G, class, for you not to be confused. So this is geometric mean. So G, let's just write G, class, for you not to be confused. Geometric mean. So this is geometric mean. So this is G. And then G. Alright, so geometric mean is equal to the square root of the first term multiplied by the third term, multiplied by C. Alright, so let's apply this one. Let's apply this formula to find the value of X. Alright, so we can just simply use this formula. So let's have this formula, class. That's okay. Once again, class, we can use this formula or we can use this formula. This is just the same, class. So let's just simply use this formula. We have G squared or geometric mean and then squared, is equal to a times c. So our g, that would be 5x plus 1. So once again, class, geometric mean is the middle of the two numbers or the two expressions. So this is geometric mean, 5x plus 1. And then we have squared. So quantity squared equals our a is x plus 2. Then our c, that would be x plus 11. Alright, and then simply simplify this one. 5x plus 1 quantity squared. It means you multiply this expression by itself twice. So once again, we don't have enough space, class. So let me just erase this one. Remember the formula. So let me just write the formula here. G squared equals a times c. So that would be geometric mean squared is equals to a times c. Alright, so let's simplify this one. 5x plus 1 quantity squared. It means you multiply this expression by itself twice. That would be 5x plus 1 multiplied by 5x plus 1. And then we can apply the FOIL method, class. Applying the FOIL method. So first, outer, inner, last. Just remember, class, the FOIL method. So first, 5x times 5x, that would be 25x squared. Once again, class, 5x times 5x. 5 times 5 is 25. X times x, that would be x squared. So that would be 25x squared. And then outer, 5x times 1. So that would be positive 5x. And then inner, 1 times 5x, that would be positive 5x. And then last, 1 times 1, that would be positive 1. And then simply combine like terms. So this will be 25x squared. 5x plus 5x, that would be 10x. And then copy positive 1. So this will be 25x squared plus 10x plus 1 equals, and then simply simplify this one. So x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 11. So first, x times x, that would be x squared. And then outer, x times 11, that would be positive 11x. And then inner, 2 times x, that would be positive 2x. And then last, 2 times 11, that would be positive 22. And then combine like terms, we have x squared, 11x plus 2x. What's the answer, class? That's correct, that would be 13x. And then copy plus 22. So this will be x squared plus 13x plus 22. Alright, and then we can transpose this one. To combine like terms, we can transpose x squared, we can transpose 13x, and then we can transpose 22. Once you transfer from this equal sign, you always change the sign. Alright, so let's do that. So this will be, alright, so once again, we transpose, copy, 25x squared. Alright, and then we transpose x squared. This is positive, it becomes negative x squared. Alright, and then this one, positive 10x, copy. Once again, plus once you transfer from this equal sign, you change the sign. Copy, 25x squared is still positive because we didn't transpose 25x squared. This x squared, this is positive, it becomes negative. This 10x becomes positive. We didn't transpose 10x, so copy, positive 10x. This is positive 13, it will be negative 13x. Copy, positive 1, transpose 22 from right to left. This is positive 22, it will be negative 22. Alright, this will be negative 22, then equals 0. And then simply combine like terms. So this will be 25x squared minus x squared. Understood that there's 1 here. 25 minus 1, that would be 24. Copy x squared. Positive 10x, negative 13x. If the signs are not the same, subtract. 13 minus 10, that would be 3. Now 13 is greater than 10. We copy the sign of 13. That would be negative 3. Copy x. And then 1 minus 22, that would be negative 21. Unlike signs, positive 1, negative 22, subtract. 22 minus 1, that would be 21. 22 is greater than 1. We copy the sign of 22. That would be negative 21. Then equals 0. Alright, so almost done, class. Next step, class, we need to find the roots, or we need to find the value of x. Now, to find the value of x, class, we can do factoring, or we can use the quadratic formula. Do you still remember, class, using the quadratic formula? So we don't have enough space. Let me just use another whiteboard, class. So this will be our given. We have 24x squared minus 3x minus 21. Alright, do you still remember, class, using the quadratic formula? So our formula, we have x equals negative b, positive negative, square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. because it's hard for us, class, to do factoring if you have this kind of expression. Our given value of a is 24, so it's very difficult, class, to find the roots using factoring. So we will be applying quadratic formula. Alright, so our a, just remember, class, quadratic equation, our a is beside x squared, that would be 24. Our b is beside x, that would be negative 3. Our c is negative 21. Alright, and the next step, you copy x, and then copy equal sign, copy negative sign, and then the value of b, that would be negative 3. So therefore, we need to put parentheses. This will be negative 3. Once again, class, I hope you're not confused, class. Sir, why do you have two negatives? This first negative, class, came from the formula. It says negative b. So this one came from the formula. And then the value of b, that would be negative 3. So that's why we have two negatives. And then copy plus and minus. Square root of our b is negative 3. So negative 3, then squared. Minus 4. Our a is 24. 4 times 24. And then our c is 21. Negative 21. Alright, all over 2 times our a is 24. 2 times 24. Alright, and the next step, you copy x equals negative times negative. That will be positive. So this will be positive 3. Once again, plus you distribute the signs. You multiply the signs. Negative times negative, that will be positive. Simply copy 3. And then positive, negative, square root of negative 3 squared. It doesn't mean negative 3 times 2. Once again, plus negative 3 squared. It doesn't mean negative 3 times 2. It means negative 3 times negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3, that will be positive 9. And then simply multiply this one, negative 4 times 24. Let's use our calculator. So 4 times 24, that would be negative 96 times 21. That would be 2016. Once again, class, negative 4 times 24. Negative 4 times 24. So 4 times 24, that would be 96. This will be negative 96. Negative 4 times 24, that would be negative 96. And then negative 96 times negative 21. 96 times 21, the answer is 2016. So that would be positive 2016. Why is that, sir? Because negative times negative, that would be positive 2016. Alright, so once again, class, negative 4 times 24, that would be negative 96. And then negative 96 times negative 21, that would be 2016. And then 2 times 24, that would be 48. Alright, so almost done, class. Simply add this one. So this will be, we don't have enough space, class. So let's do it step by step. So this will be x equals 3 positive negative square root of 2016 plus 9, that would be 2025, right? 2025 all over 48. Alright, so what would be the square root of 2025? I think that's 45, right? Let's double check. 45 times 45, the answer is 2025, yep. So the square root of 2025, that would be 45. So simply copy x equals, copy 3. Positive, negative, the square root of 2025, that would be 45 over 48. Almost done, class. Once again, class, almost done. So separate this one. We have plus and minus. So this will be x equals, copy 3. And then plus 45 over 48. Once again, class, we have plus and minus. So we have x equals, copy 3. Then we start with plus 45 over 48. The other one, we have x equals 3. And then minus 45 over 48. Alright, and then next step, simply add this one. X equals 3 plus 45. What's the answer, class? 3 plus 45. That's correct. That would be 48. Divide 48. X is equals to 48 divided by 48. What's the answer, class? That's correct. X is equals to 1. That's it, class. So therefore, class, the value of x is equals to 1. Let's check this one on the right side. X is equals to 3 minus 45. That would be negative 42 over 48. Can we reduce this one? Yep, we can divide this one by 6, right? We can divide 42 by 6. Same with 48 by 6. So negative 42 divided by 6, that would be negative 7 48 divided by 6, that would be 8. This will be negative 7 over 8. But we need to use the positive answer, class. So therefore, our x value, that would be equal to 1. Okay, so therefore, class, our x is equal to 1. So quite complicated, right? Alright, so let me just erase this one, class. So let me just erase this one. We already have the value of x. And then let's find the sum of the first 10 terms. Alright, so therefore, class, our x value is equals to 1. So our x is equals to 1. So therefore, we can now find the following terms. So our first term, we have x plus 2. Second term is 5x plus 1. In our third term, that would be x plus 11. So we can simply substitute the value of x. So x plus 2, our x is 1. So simply substitute the value of x, that would be 1. So 1 plus 2. Therefore, our first term is equals to 3. So therefore, this is 3. And then this one, 5x plus 1. So this will be 5 times, our x is 1. 5 times 1 plus 1. So 5 times 1, that would be 5 plus 1, that would be equal to 6. So therefore, our second term, this will be 6. And then our third term, x plus 11. Our x is 1. So 1 plus 11, therefore this is 12. So this will be 12. That's it, class. This will be our terms. So we have 3, 6, and then 12. So we are told to find the sum of the first 10 terms. So therefore, we can multiply it by 2, right? Because the common ratio is 2. 6 divided by 3, that would be 2, right? Or 3 times 2. 3 times 2, that would be 6. Second term is 6 times 2, that would be 12. Third term is 12 times 2, that would be 24, right? So this is 24 times 2, that would be 48 times 2. 48 times 2, let's use our calculator. 24 times 2, yep, that would be 48 times 2, that would be 96. And then 96 times 2, we have 192. So this will be 192 times 2, that would be 384. Times 2, that would be 768. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, times 2, that would be 1,536. So we can add this one, simply add this one, class, and you will find the sum. So we can use our calculator. 3 plus 6 plus 12 plus 24 plus 48 plus 96 plus 192 plus 384 plus 768 plus 1536. The answer, class, is 3,000. So the sum of the first 10 terms is equal to 3,069. That's it, class. All set. With regards to example number 1, we have 10 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so once again, class, we do have a formula for that, for the sum. Once again, class, this is quite long. We do have a formula, class, for the sum. So S of n is equal to the first term multiplied by 1 minus r raised to the power of n all over 1 minus r. So S of n, that would be the sum. So sum of the first 10 terms is equal to, the first term is 3. So our first term is 3. So this will be 3 multiplied by 1 minus r, the common ratio. Simply divide the second term by the first term. 6 divided by 3, that would be 2. So therefore, the common ratio is 2. N is the number of terms. We're looking for the sum of the first 10 terms. So therefore, our n is 10. And then over 1 minus our common ratio is 2. So let's check, class, if we have the same answer, 3,069. Alright, so this will be S sub n is equal to 3. Copy 3. 1 minus 2 raised to the power of 10. What's the answer, class? 2 raised to the power of 10. It means that you multiply 2 by itself 10 times. So this will be 2. So we don't have enough space. Let's have it here. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Alright, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 32 times 2 is 64. 64 times 2, that would be 128. 128 times 2, 256. 256 times 2, 512. 512 times 2, that would be 1024. So this will be 1024. 2 raised to the power of 10. It means you multiply 2 by itself 10 times. And that would be 1024. close parenthesis. Alright, so you pause the video class. I'll be erasing this one. Once again, class 2 raised to the power of 10. It means you multiply 2 by itself 10 times. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. Times 2 is 32. Times 2 is 64. Times 2, 128. Times 2, 256. Times 2, 512. Times 2, 1024. Alright, and this will be 1 minus 2. That would be negative 1. So this will be S sub 10, or the sum of the first 10 terms. So this will be 3 times 1 minus 1024. That would be 1023 all over negative 1. So this will be negative, right? 1 minus 1024, that would be negative 1023. And then simply multiply this one. Use your calculator. So we can use our calculator. 3 times 1023. That would be negative 3069 because this is negative. Divide by negative 1. So S sub 10 equals. So negative divided by negative is positive. 3069 divided by 1, that would be 3069. That's it, class. All set. Same answer, class. All set. All set, class. With regards to example number 1. Quite complicated, right? For example number 1. So therefore, our x value is positive 1. And the sum, that would be 3069. The sum of the first 10 terms, that would be 3069. Alright, so once again, class, I hope you learned something new today. If you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You share it to your friends and to your classmates so that we can help more students. Once again, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day, class. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.